We really got to figure out some sort of music to play at the beginning of the show to just go from nothing
Yeah.
and then into talking. It just doesn't like bam. There should be music right there. Anyways, greetings and salutations, my people. Welcome back to another week of the Shit Talk Show. That's right, we said shit, and you weren't ready for it. Anyways, this week's gonna be crazy. There's a lot of stuff to cover. There's actually like a lot of stuff to cover, and it's all like meaningful and has value and is kind of interesting. No fluff, cool shit to get into this week, and also maybe
Said
we're gonna.
shit,
Oh,
and you
jeez.
weren't ready for it.
Oh, it just echoed really hard there. Anyways, how's it going, Demo? How are things on your end?
All good here. And wow, that was a big week last week. I've been playing the hell of out of gaming. And I tried some new games. I finished some new games. And I tried some possible Game of the Year games. What about you? Have you played anything this week?
I played a very old game that has been around for a very long time, and honestly, not many people play anymore. And it's called Reading. I read a book. Like I read like hundreds of pages in the last week. It's crazy. It's a weird game. Not many people play it. What about you? What were you playing?
I started playing Little Nightmare 2. I found it like on the PlayStation Store was like something like £4, something like that, very very cheap. So I was like, guys, I didn't try this game yet, and I needed to try it. Went in, start playing, and it was unbelievable. Like, it's not the horror games or platform games you would expect. It's a massive mix. What they done, if you ever played Little Big Planet, same developers, is the horror version probably of that, with some of the monsters and some of the situation that are super tense, and the suspense is incredible. It was like one of the my best plays played was in this room with all this mannequin, and all the mannequin move if it's dark and you have a torch. So you need to point the light towards them to stop. But in the same time, you need to walk through the room. So you never know which one gonna move and try to attack and kill you in that moment. Amazing games. So I decided to completely platinum this game. Like I've replayed like all the levels multiple times to get all the collectibles, all the little side quest missions, all the little hat, because you can find hat that you can use, and after you need to use that hat to some of the quests, because if you don't have the hat you can't complete the trophy. Little spoiler for who is watching. Remember, collect all the hat if you want to complete the game 100%. And this game announced its sequel soon, Little Nightmare 3, and that's coming like start of next year, 2026, and is one of the possible. No, not 2026. It's coming this October, this August. Well, I think it's coming this year at one point. It's the other game, Reanimal, coming in start of next year. Well, Little Nightmare 3 gonna be the sequel of Little Nightmare 2, but big difference is being made from different developers. Bandai Namco had all the name and everything, so they said, we don't wanna work with you anymore because you've been bought from another company. So we create our own version of Little Nightmare.
Damn.
And what the developers did, I said, okay, we don't mind that. So we create our own game. And their own game is called Reanimal. If you see, like, is while Little Nightmare is like a single player games where the friend's companion is moved from the AI. In Reanimal, you can play as a single player, but you would be able to play in co-op with some friends or online as well. And that will make the biggest difference. So definitely a game to check out and follow if you like the horror. This is definitely the horror you don't expect. This the suspense, some of the scenario, how the camera move is very particular, and definitely a game to play. Very highly recommended.
It's cinematic as fuck for sure. I definitely feel disappointed. Also, this game looks exactly like Little Nightmares. It's almost like they just lost the rights to use the name, so they just made a better version. It looks exactly like Little Nightmares.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah, like super twisted. I'm disappointed in myself for thinking for a very long time that horror games like they had to involve guns. That thinking that like
Yeah.
Resident Evil was the only form of horror, and like games like it, Silent Hill, Tormented Souls, Outlast, stuff like that. That was the only kind of horror that existed, because games like this, games like Don't Starve, games like there's a lot of really good, almost like indie, smaller, messed up horror games. Like this is a very well done. This would make Tim Burton like crawl in his sheets. This is a very well done project, story, atmosphere, creation. I'm disappointed that I didn't jump into the Little Nightmare series. I think I too also picked up one of them on sale recently because it's a series that I wanted to get into and just hadn't. But yeah, this looks. There was that movie that came out a really long time ago that was just called Nine. That was about these like little dolls that like come to life and they're in a really horror like themed world. It's very similar to this. It's a lot of the same atmosphere. But it's cool.
Similar to that. And Coraline
Yes,
was the other one, the one with the buttons in a instead of a face. That was a Tim Burton movies. Was it Tim Burton movies? Maybe. Yeah, but the main thing is like how they made the camera and the atmosphere in the game and the suspense and some of the points. Then it very make you like stay on the edge. Sometimes in the like Resident Evil, you stay on the edge, but you know something unexpected and you feel more secure because you have a gun. You have nothing. And like if you get caught from one of the monsters, you die directly.
Yeah.
And you need to respawn. And in Little Nightmare 2 is a lot of trap. You don't expect them. And you just try to move and you get killed from one of this trap and you go, fuck's sake.
Yeah, dude.
Joypad flying through the window.
Yeah, dude. Or like there was an old PlayStation 1 game that was called Heart of Darkness, where you play as like a kid, but dude, the death animations in that game were so fucking violent and dark and like, good lord, man. Like you think it's a kid's game because you play as like little dolls and stuff and you're playing on a little PlayStation 1, but like fuck me, that game was dark at times.
That was a 2 CD game as well. It wasn't on a single CD.
Yeah, those were the good old days, man. But yeah, that was a challenging game. That was like one of the first times I played a game that was like, we're not gonna hold your hand and we're gonna make it hard. And it was like, fuck, dude. I was like 10 or something. But yeah, dude, these games look great.
And they made this also the things like you could use green and red paper glasses to see some of the parts was in 3D. Like some of the, I think towards the end of the story, you had like a 3D section where you should use that one.
Yeah.
That was like very innovative for the time.
Yeah, man.
I think it was that. Yeah.
Anyways.
That's when the 3D movies were coming out as well. Like you need to use that horrible glasses to try to see 3D movies coming out from your TV instead in a cinema.
Those were the good old days.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Back in time. Yeah. Definitely a game to try out.
Definitely a game. Reanimal and oh shit. Yeah, this game's kind of scary. Anyways, what are other hype games that are coming out that are hyped?
Well, I'm start playing another of the most hyped games of this year, like Expedition 33. I got it as a present, and I started playing it, and bro, is how people describe it. It's a good game. It's a good game. You can see like some of the things are not. You can see it's made from a small team. I think it was 20 people making the games. Like started with 2 people. One used to work for Ubisoft, and he say, "Fuck Ubisoft! I create my own games," and they made their own games, and I completely destroyed any launch of Ubisoft of this year by himself. You can see like the animation of the characters Did you ever play Only Up?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, if you see how they're running and how they move, they got the same animation. They just took the basic animation from Unreal Engine, but there were things around that made it, like their old storyline, the style of fighting, and a lot of other things. It's a well-deserved made game, and I'm very excited now to playing and go through it. I only started yesterday, and the music as well, the
Yes.
soundtrack
Yes.
is amazing. And do you know, like I think the guy from the soundtrack, they go on the internet, like they make like this website. I don't remember the name of the website, and they just found him and say, "Yep, we like your music. Do you want to join?" And I say, "Okay." I start making like probably the best soundtrack of this year and probably of the last few years. Very, very good music in this game.
That's how it should be, dude. That's what the internet is for. It's for finding good people, talent.
Yep.
Right on, man.
And beautiful game. Are you going out to try as well, or
I mean,
at
yeah,
one point?
yeah. I mean, for sure. For all the good things that I've heard about it, this is definitely a game on the radar. I've rarely been someone that needs to play a game immediately when it comes out. There's only a few games where I absolutely have to do that. So like, I don't feel a need to play this immediately. I will absolutely put it on my wish list and keep an eye on it and play it because it's an incredible game from what I hear for all intents and purposes. But I also kind of already have my game set for the rest of the. Am I spoiling anything? Is this? We'll stop. We don't need to watch this demo because I don't want to spoil shit for you. We'll go to the.
No worries. Nothing gets spoiled.
Okay.
I already passed this.
Okay. Because this game is hype. There's a lot of stuff going on. This game is really nothing but goodness. But it's also, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. We'll let you experience it.
And one thing very controversial. If you see the main characters is right now, you have in the screen. They suck the same copy of Robert Pattinson from Twilight. It's basically him.
Really?
Yeah, look at him. Like, if you put Robert Pattinson and him, it's basically the same face. As soon as I was playing it, hey, did they told him or not?
Interesting. I mean, I definitely know the actor that played this guy is the dude from Daredevil. And I know that he was not shown much love for this role, that he just like went in there, did the lines and left. But okay. I didn't think about that. Robert Pattinson with a lot more hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
His French version.
The French
called also
version.
Gustave. Yeah, Gustave Pattinson.
Gustave Pattinson, nice. All right. So that's what we're playing. That's what we're looking at. But now there's been a lot of hype this week for a game that's dropping some news, and that's in closed beta right now. And Demo and I have zero experience with that game or that franchise. We are not exposed to it in any way. We have not played any of the titles in it. Still looks like a fun game though. Still looks like a good franchise. I admit, when I first grew up, it was actually Medal of Honor series was the #1 FPS series. So I played a shit ton of that, and then Call of Duty started to get popular. Played a bit of Call of Duty. I did Warzone when it first came out for a little bit. I was more of a Destiny guy. I was more of an Apex guy. I preferred more of like this sci-fi. Like, I didn't want to play a realistic military game. I feel like I could just watch documentaries for that. Show me like give me some Titanfall. Give me some fucking sci-fi elements and shit going on. So I completely ignored Battlefield. I completely ignored anything going on in that series. But this latest installment, Battlefield 6, is supposedly, for all intents and purposes, giving everything that gamers want to the gamers. They are not forcing you to have to download and use EA's stupid app when you play this. They are letting you choose modular what you want to download and what you don't want to download. So you can download the game as small as 55 gigs or as big as like 150 gigs. It comes with a lot of free modes, a lot of free maps, they went back to a form with classes, because apparently in the last couple of Battlefields you could just pick up any gun and just do anything the fuck you want, whereas before it was like you pick your class and then your class determines your role and your skills and the fucking weapons you can use and your expertise and yada yada. And then, as always, what everybody loves is this shit right here, the destruction. The fact that you can aim an RPG at a wall, you can blow up a helicopter, the helicopter flies into a building, and that building is destroyed. That, like, there are physics, there's destruction physics in the game. You can use that to your advantage. If someone's hiding in a building, destroy the building. Someone's hiding behind some shit, destroy that shit. It's interesting. I've never jumped into the series. I might jump into this one. We just talked about how I don't need to play a game the day it comes out, but this has a couple of free Battle Royale modes. It's supposed to have a fucking sick campaign mode. Yo, this is what gamers want. Maybe we're leaving the age of Call of Duty and entering the age of Battlefield, because most of the large streamers have been shitting on Call of Duty for a long time now. If Call of Duty was doing so well, I don't think Tim the Tatman would have been open to playing off the grid in a bunch of Web3 games. But yeah, cool shit. Cool stuff. It's in closed beta right now. There's a lot of big streamers who are jumping on and streaming it. I was watching this guy earlier. I guess he's on a fucking break right now. But it's good stuff. I don't know. What do you think, sir?
Well, definitely from the always sort of graphic and how hyped is the game. It's a well-made game. You can see like the profundity as well of the scenario. Look where is the mountains. It's not like normal battle royale military game where you have all the building and you have this one. They gave up bloody profundity. You can see through. It's the details that count. You have like trees, rocks, building, and when you destroy a building, it's all the bricks and everything coming down. It's not just like few frame and box and just explode and you don't have anything. You saw like earlier the guys shoot with a RPG and everything was coming down to him. So I'm not sure if you need to calculate that as well. You don't get killed from all this debris.
Oh, you do.
Flying towards you.
Oh, you totally do. If you're underneath a building, that building collapsed, you're fucked. That kind of physics are 100% in here. And like they're showing right now, they added this completely custom like design map where there's like almost like a Fortnite engine, almost like Fortnite UEFN. They created Battlefield UEFN, where you can create your own custom maps. It's UGC. Anyone can jump on, play your maps, destroy whatever they want. You can have all sorts of challenges. They're really competing against a number of people. They're coming out swinging, as I like to say. They don't want to be Fortnite. The goal is not to have a whole bunch of like goofy, colorful, cartoony skins. They talk shit about Call of Duty because Call of Duty has Nicki Minaj skins and Snoop Dogg skins and Godzilla skins and shit like that. They're like, we're not doing that. This is more military realism with shit. So they're trying to be Fortnite in a little bit with like UGC and creative maps, but they want to keep the military realism. They want to be what Call of Duty was like 10 years ago, right? Like 8 or 10 years ago. Yeah. And
that's good because like it will attract such a new kind of players. Is you don't want to keep copying same games. You don't want to like have all the games that look the same.
Yeah.
Like everyone now try to be the new Fortnite. And to make the new Fortnite, you need to make all the skin. You need to make all the collaboration. You have like a million of skin, same gameplay, same things. We saw that a lot in Web3 games when they launched like different battle royale and they're all like based on Fortnite instead of creating something new. Some players love the hyper realism of the game. Some others, they won't like that and they go maybe for something more cartoony and goofy like Fortnite or other games like that, like Fall Boys or Stumble Guys on phones and whatever. They don't want that hyper realism. But definitely this one is a game that it will give you like a full immersion in a war, in a big battle.
Right.
And I love how you can break like basically everything.
Basically everything.
If I play this, I would be the guy with the RPG on the roof and just bombarding everything.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good. It's what again, I think it's what players want. I think it's what players have been asking for. So it's kind of crazy that they're just going to give it to them. whoever is directing this game, whoever's a project manager, whoever's in charge of that shit is doing a good job. What the fuck? Whoever's doing that is doing a good job. They're leading a good project, and it seems to be like literally what everyone wants. If I go, where are we at? Over here to just looking at like sentiment, player sentiment, people what they think online. This is a great post. Actual Battlefield 6, actual return to form. Classes are back. More destruction. Cool new mechanics where you can just drag your allies once they're wounded. Portal, you get custom games like Fortnite. Grounded skins, no Nicki Minaj. Good customization with your weapons and your operator. Proper single-player campaign. Classic modes from old Battlefields. Additional free Battle Royale modes. What's the catch, EA? And this has 140 likes. That's 4 million views. So clearly people are in this. Like, people are ready. Look, you don't need the EA game to launch. Like, a lot of people like this. A lot of people very much like this. So we'll see, bro.
Yeah, it would be interesting. Also, like the people like, I think now it's closing beta only for some content creator and a few other people. But this weekend and next weekend, everyone applied for the open beta and have received the confirmed email from EA.
Right.
They can play the games already.
Yeah.
They can start in all the platform already: PlayStation, computer, Xbox. Maybe not Switch 2, because Switch 2 is having big problems with a memory. Like, they can't handle too many games on a Switch 2, and people are big complaining about that. Because a lot of games need a lot of memory of gigabytes, and the Switch 2 doesn't have enough, and people are a little bit upset about that. So see what Nintendo is gonna do for it. But back to Battlefield 6. Yeah, it would be very interesting. What would be the people's first reaction? And I will see this like during the weekend and see. We're gonna talk about it next Monday probably.
So from here, there are 2 games that we branch off to from here, because I like what's happening here, and it makes me want to maybe find some friends, jump in, play a little bit of Battlefield. But I would rather play a bunch of Farlight 84. Farlight 84 is coming back, and they're like a better Apex. They're like a better, like I was just talking about. Like, I want sci-fi in my first-person shooter a little bit. I don't want the most hardcore, accurate military realism. Farlight 84. We don't even need to talk about it any more than that. The people who know. If you don't know, check out Farlight 84. Okay, that's all we're going to talk about. From there, what's going on with Shrapnel, Mr. Demo?
Wow, that's another game that tried to be our #1 shooting games some years ago, and they doing something really, really weird. They decided to do so before it's the only chain available in China or whatever, and they moving from Avalanche, to Gala Games. And that's very, very strange, because Gala Games, no one liked Gala Games. Gala Games, the Walking Dead game's gonna shut in 1 or 2 months. It's gonna be like massive for them to move all their assets and all the tokens to Gala and make all the players understand how they need to create an account with Gala Games and do this and do that. Also, Gala Games, I think, mostly did mobile games and not many big PC games. And that's back in the rewind of what I predicted, and they might want to move Shrapnel in mobile games to compete against PUBG Mobile and Call of Duty Mobile. Then they both are being developed in China.
You did call that.
Really. So very, very strange what is going to be the next step.
Yeah, nobody thinks this is a good thing. Or to be accurate, there's a post that Vertid did where he showed all of the paid KOLs that were talking about how cool it is. Guys, Shrapnel's coming to Gala. What? Isn't that amazing? And none of them disclosed that it was a paid sponsorship. And all of them are just large influencers. They're not actual gamers. They're not people that give a shit about Web3 gaming or gaming, period. They're just large influencers. They just take your money and extract and say whatever the fuck you pay them for. So, like, there's Shrapnel still has money. Gala still has money to pay for this shit. But literally no one thinks this is a good move. God bless Memento Mori. We trust in Memento Mori. Wrote about it in Gaming Chronicles. Yeah, to quote, Shrapnel burned through $86 million. They didn't do shit. You can go, like, on this show, we talked about how for literally an entire year, they didn't do shit. You could play one playtest in January, play the exact same playtest in December. They didn't change anything. So they burned through $86 million, received a buyout from the Chinese government, because that was the only way they could survive. The Chinese government bought them up, like you said, turned them into the first real-world asset chain in China, which is a problem because last week China just came out again and banned all cryptocurrency and crypto mining. What are we doing? But okay, the Chinese government bought Shrapnel, and now Shrapnel is migrating to Gala. All things considered, was there any option for this game to have a chance? Yeah, no. Like, a lot of the Raiden saying seeing Shrapnel move to Gala just feels really off. AVAX and the marketing team supported them heavily and kind of made them their flagship game. AVAX did a really good job pushing them out there. Yeah, this is.
So it would be very interesting what is gonna happen now. Like, I think our prediction was kind of right. I think they're gonna move completely to mobile games. I think they're gonna try to relaunch completely. I think they're gonna try to reduce maybe the size of the map. They're gonna try to get more fast-pacing games, because the game never understood what they wanted to be. This was like a very fast-pacing, like with a guy running as fast as Flash Gordon, but at the same time, you need to be tactical. You need to be an extraction. He had like so many variants in the game, so it would be interesting to see if they decide to go in a smaller maps, more like maybe less players in the lobby, and I don't know, but definitely like Gala, I think, was a bad move. But if it's that what they need, or maybe it's what is being imposed from the Chinese government, is all to find out. And would be interesting to see how the game develop, how they come out from this situation. Now it's easy to say everyone, I say, oh, it's a bad choice, but depend from them now to see if they actually did a good move or not. And we see like with the game, and when we're gonna review their games and say
we're not gonna review their game. We reviewed their game already. That's garbage. I mean, come on. Yeah, look, our Shrapnel employees after hearing their migraine to Gala. Yeah, I'm out. I mean, most of the good people already left Shrapnel a while ago. So yeah. Look, G-Crod, Shrapnel.
They just finished to kill that community.
Yeah, no, it's almost like Avalanche was like, look, get the fuck out of here. We're not working with you assholes. Like, we don't want anything to do with you guys, so find another fucking chain immediately. And they were like, who will have us? Guys, we're Shrapnel. We're one of the best first-person shooters out there. What chain will have us? And nobody fucking wanted them except for the assholes at Gala. And then Gala was like, we'll help you. Because somehow they still have money. Oh, that's right, because they're somehow ingrained with the Trump administration, because they were one of the only companies that got a contract to build a game for the White House, to build a game for, like, what the fuck, dude? How are they still around? When so many other good games, so many other good studios have shut down, how the fuck is Gala still around? Nobody call them Gala anymore. Call them cockroaches, because they won't fucking die. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Also, it's with like Immutable didn't take them. It's Immutable apparently is taking every single dead games sometimes. You see Immutable like taking like different games and go on the Immutable, and they do like their relaunch and everything. And Shrapnel didn't even make in the list for going on Immutable. So yeah, Gala is definitely like a very weird pick.
Yeah.
We see how it is gonna evolve in the future.
Last one from Inhuman is do yourself a favor and block every single gaming KOL talking about Shrapnel today. Not only did most of them not disclose that they were paid for that advertisement, but they were broke enough to take Gala Games' money and shill a year-old dead rug that's now owned by the Chinese government. Yes. Literally anyone who said that it was that, like, oh wow, guys, Shrapnel's doing this, mute them, block them, unfollow them, get rid of them, and conveniently, here's 9 of them right here for you. The good thing is almost none of these people matter in Web3 gaming, but you're going to see Teddy and you're going to see Sky a lot, and you should not trust anything these fuckers say. They are not here to help you or bring you any information of games. Teddy, however, is the only one that said this was an ad. Look, he disclosed just right here in his little thing that it is an ad. He's the only one that did that. So props to Teddy for that. But Teddy is not an opinion you should really ever listen to. And neither are any of these other people. Who the fuck are these people anyways? They're nobodies. They're not. That's a tangent. But that's a big problem with people new coming into this industry or coming into Web3 gaming is they don't know who the scammers are. They think Jonah is someone to listen to. They think Kagi, oh yeah, Kagi, well, he's a big popular guy. He's got a lot of followers. He's pretty active. I'll listen to that guy. And then you find out that he has a just entire career of scamming people, shitting on people, being controversial, starting fires, making lies. Like, you need people like Verted that have a list of shit like this that can show you that list. That are people that have betrayed trust, that have shilled their audience, sold out their following. Stay away from assholes like this. I have spoken.
And just to remember, Verted is a very, very young content creator. I think it's not even 18, and he's been almost suited from which game was then.
Oh yeah, I forget.
Only because his express is
Haunted Space. That's what it was.
Yeah, Haunted Space. That was the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there are some content creators that actually gamers and they actually play the games and actually review them and actually tell you something good or bad about them. Gaspard could be listed in one of them. Let's try every single game so you can see like people that actually play. Also like George in the meta, very good guy, play the games. And after they are the normal shillers, and people need to understand they just shill. They just get paid and they just post a few things and say this is good, this is bad.
Now, meanwhile, some KOLs did just jump on this bandwagon. Their opinions aren't really to be trusted either. They just saw everyone posting that this was a bad thing, and they were like, this is a bad thing. There's some people that are just jumping on. So, like, it's hard to cut through the noise with shit like this, but this was a big L for Gala, for Shrapnel, for everyone involved. If you're still on the team at Shrapnel, I'm sorry. If you're somehow still working at Gala, you're a horrible human being. That's all I have to say about that. I may move on to yet another rant, however.
Yep. From one rant to the others. The next rant is probably the one you more keen on it. Like you probably hate it. What's happening like in all the wars recently, but especially in America.
Hate is a strong word. I mean, loathe, abhor. I'm really not a fan. I'm really not a fan of, and this is something I've mildly had to get used to in crypto, because for the last several years, the only way you could really interact with centralized exchanges was to take a picture of your license and a smile and take a selfie. I fucking hate that shit. But I'm not doing that for YouTube, period. I'm not doing that for video streaming sites on the internet. I'm not doing that for Google. Even if Google already fucking has that information, I don't need to upload it for them. So, headline is, YouTube has started using AI to determine how old you are and feed you age-appropriate content, so prepare to be judged based on what you watch and when. That's the first step. AI, or YouTube, is releasing a much more enabled, integrated artificial intelligence that is going to gauge how old you are based on based on the stuff that you watch. All of this is thanks to you UK people coming up with this stupid online safety act that's ruining the entire internet. So, now, in order to protect the children who are under 18, YouTube needs to make sure that you're not under 18. Or if you are, you need to upload a government to prove it. Yeah, listen, I've read too much like American history, revolution shit to know that like privacy, giving away your privacy freely and just letting the government just look at everything is the first step towards not good shit. I've seen so many creators come out against this, and only one has come out in support of it, Asmongold, Gold, and it's because he's a fucking retard. You can quote me on that. This isn't a good step, and I can't imagine. So to go through it real quick, to go through the steps real quick. YouTube, if the AI determines that you're under 18, it immediately instigates several practices that are just for under 18-year-olds. It will turn off personalized ads, so that way it stops tracking you specifically and giving you ads exactly on who you are and what you like. It will add well-being software. Nobody knows what that is. And it will also stop you from rewatching too many videos and just straight censor you from watching other things. If you don't like that, then you upload your government ID. I see, the conspiracy theorist in me, sees YouTube just blatantly saying everyone is under the age of 18 and forcing you to upload your government ID, because then they just have a whole bunch of your government ID. It's a push for censorship that's all over the internet. That's a much larger thing than just on YouTube. It's also on Spotify. It's also on a lot of other websites on the internet. Recently, there was a thing with Visa and MasterCard taking video games off of Steam and a website called itch.io. Visa and MasterCard are, again, doing this global censorship kind of push. It's not just video games. There's a lot of movies and other services that they are suddenly saying it's a brand it damages our brand if we allow people to pay with our services for these video games. So they've forced Steam and this other website, itch.io, to take the games entirely off. They don't just let you, like, the problem is you could pay another way. They could just say, all right, we won't let you use our MasterCard and our Visa, but you can pay with a gift card. You can pay with cash. You can pay with your debit card. You can pay with crypto. You can pay with whatever the fuck you want. You just won't pay with our services. But that's not what they did. They went to Steam and said, take these games off. Period. There's no like negotiation. There's no we'll allow people to get them another way. It was just get it off. And so there's been a good bit of backlash between Steam, between Visa and MasterCard. There's on Twitter, a whole lot of people are straight up calling either representatives or calling Visa and MasterCard customer service and just talking shit. Just talking straight shit. And I mean, don't trust everything you read online, but there's a lot of people that have said, like, as soon as I called them, I had to wait 20 minutes, and then when someone picked up the phone, they said, is this about the Steam restrictions? I go, yeah, because everyone's unhappy with it. So GOG, I don't even remember what that stands for. They're an online marketplace that allows you to buy bundles of games for a bit cheaper than you would on Steam or other larger marketplaces. They gathered a bundle of a bunch of the most popular games that had just been taken off of Steam, and they gave them away for free. Now, here's the thing. Most of them are kind of sexy adult games. I'm not going to lie to you, right? You've got some adult XXX things going on here. But then you also have Postal 2, which is like a satirical game about a guy just losing his shit and going off on society. You have Agony, which is a game that just takes place in hell. Granted, it's the unrated version, so it's a pretty fucked up version of hell. But it's just a game that takes place in hell. Like, it's like Doom, just a little bit darker. So this is the shit MasterCard's after. They're after a bunch of lonely, horny dudes that will only ever interact with virtual women. And they maybe don't want you to go postal or to see images of hell. This is a slippery slope. Once it starts, we don't know where it ends. So it's not been great. You got Spotify doing this shit. Here's the worry. Here's my worry. Here's where my rant takes a turn, okay? Recently, there was an app in America called the T app. It was for women. It allowed them to like talk about the men that they're dating and their boyfriends that they're dating, and essentially just like talk shit about their significant others to other women and just like whatever, like commiserate to each other and everything. They, in order to combat bots and to ensure that everyone on there was a real person, required an ID verification. You upload your license, your driver's license. You upload a government ID to verify you are a real person. It attaches it to your account. You're good. You never have to verify that you're a bot again. We're all good. Problem is, their security sucked. So somebody hacked it, hacked everyone's license plates. Where's the picture I'm looking for? And was able to do this. They hacked the database of that app, found where every single person lived, posted their home address and their driver's license online so you can just look through the database. You can just find everyone that ever used that app, find out where they live, find out what they wrote about, find out who they were talking about, find out what their account was, find out their driver's license, find whatever you want. This is a problem if we are now going to be forcing all of these websites to verify user ID because security sucks. So now I can just hack into one of these smaller websites that has gathered everyone's government ID and just find out where everyone lives. I can just find out what your driver's license number is, your social security number, what's going on. You can find out your work history, find out like that's not good. I'm not a fan of this. This is a weird paradigm that we're entering into. It's a weird era of the internet that we're entering into. I don't know what else to say except for that tyranny is tyranny. Let it come from who it may. And I don't like this. That's all I got.
Yeah, that definitely something scary, especially the last things here. Sure, like you need to basically give all your details to website and get easily hacked. And we saw like in UK, some people try to bypass this using that strengthening picture mode, because obviously they don't want that, and that's probably other people gonna start doing that, and probably they're gonna have a bunch of fake driving license to upload. Probably that's what other people gonna use as well, but that's gonna make it harder and harder. It's like this kind of website, at one point they will say, hang on, we get all ignored and they bypassing us, so they're gonna make stronger ways. And maybe one of the way to actually save all their data is using our blockchain technology, because until they have one general server, you just need to hack one. Done. At least with a blockchain, everything divided and blocked, and it's very, very hard to get hacked.
Blockchain fixes this.
Until probably quantum computers gonna be
that's fair
invented then, but who gonna own our quantum computers? Like yeah, you kind of have like a bloody quantum computer in your backyard. I say, oh, I'm going to turn on. Yeah. That's gonna take a while before everyone gonna have a quantum computers or a portable quantum computers. But I think at that point they're gonna invent something else, and you're gonna need something else to be hacked. So the technology will go by step by step. So maybe if they start using blockchain technologies and start to make it more secure for using their IDs, but in any case, that's the sense of decentralization and what blockchain are made for. You don't need to know who's the other person are. That's why people were using that much. You go online and you have your privacy back. That's why people use VPN and this and that. People don't want to sell out their privacy for nothing, and all their IDs and all their passport. And after they get copied and scammed, and after you get some bills from somewhere coming in your house and say, oh, I didn't buy a yacht in Bahamas.
Yeah, it's part of it's in our countries, it's in like Western nations that we are getting some form of like social credit score that China has pretty soon. That like with our government ID associated to so many things online, with Visa and MasterCard watching everything that we buy, like it's stable coins are coming over here. I don't know, man. Like we really need to go full Web3, like full degen, debank, all that fun stuff, and just go full blockchain, because I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I don't like censorship.
Yeah, it's getting like more and more like some episodes of Black Mirror where everyone get rated and everyone need to care about the rating. Was this episode where you have your phone and you have stars. If you have 5 stars, you have
Right.
entries for everything. But as soon as something get leaked off, like straight away in social media, and everyone know who you are, everyone
Yep.
know everything, and your rating go down. And because your rating go down, your social position go down as well. And like everyone is evaluated from everyone. Like
Yeah.
government know who you are, government know what you done. So yeah, that's definitely something everyone want to avoid.
And who gives you those 5 stars? Oh, the government. That's right. So you just have to be nice and good to the government, and then the government gives you good things. Hooray! Yeah, that's weird. I've read too much science fiction to know where this ends, and I don't like it. So hopefully there are a lot of other people that have read science fiction as well and stand in the way. We'll see. We'll see. And now from slightly depressing conspiratorial news. Satoshi Nakamoto.
Toshin talking from a blockchain to him. in Lugano, Switzerland, they made his, I think it was the first in the world Satoshi Nakamoto statue. And it's been stolen from his place because he was like only bolted down to his pillar or whatever. They found it again after a weekend, completely destroyed. So they didn't rob it for money, trying to resell it. Just they robbed it because they were bored, drunk kids, and they didn't know what to do, and just destroyed Satoshi Nakamoto. Or maybe it was someone he put all his money in BTC when it was all-time high, and he lost everything. No one know that.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
It's either someone who didn't get in years ago and they're super pissed off about it, or like they lost a lot of money and they hate Satoshi Nakamoto, or like, yeah, I don't know, they're making a bunch of money on Solana and they're like, fuck Bitcoin or some dumb shit like that. But yeah, it's disappointing, guys. This is why we can't have nice things, because what the fuck?
Yeah, 100%. And like, it's just like a statue. It's nothing even related to Satoshi Nakamoto or whatever. It's just a little city decoration, whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe people just hate technologies and they think they didn't even know what it was, and they thought it was some guy trying to get your ID online and ask your pictures, and he went to destroy him.
Yeah, we'll see, man. It's disappointing when stuff like that happens. But meanwhile, the markets are pumping in Web3. Oh, never mind. There's a good bit of red today. Look at all that red. But look at all this green. There's a lot of green happening in the markets. People are, the timelines are popping, spaces are popping, people are coming back. I have Web 2 normies that are texting me about Web 3 questions. Makes sense. We're back. Excuse me.
We're kind of back, yeah. I think like it's gonna, no financial advice. As usual, we are just gamers talking of games, and this is another side of the talk. Yeah, I think like it's towards the end of the year, like things are pumping a bit, probably gonna continue until September, and after we see how it's going from then, is probably the bull market go up and after kind of cringe down. But I saw like a Half-Blood Nerd is doing really well, our good friend.
Our good friend, the nerd of Half-Bloodness, is running an interesting trading challenge. We'll show. So he has released an NFT collection called the 151, which is based off of the original Pokemon collection of 151. You mint it for $10. You can mint 5 per wallet. There's only about 30 left. For everyone that you buy, you kind of get a raffle into this trading challenge that he's doing, where he is trying to get 12 consecutive profitable trades. And if he does them in a row, he'll be a multimillionaire. And if you go along with that, if you buy one of these NFTs, you are entered into earning, like sharing some profits with him along the way with those trades. You also get to help him make those trades. You get to contribute, send him some ideas, watch him either win or fail. It's a pretty cool idea. I have a couple. I suggest you jump in. This is an interesting initiative. When the collection mints out, he is going to do an art reveal and show everyone what they got. So hop on now before it disappears, or wait till it reveals and then buy it on the secondary. You do you, but yeah, get in now. Tell him I said hey.
Nice, especially with some of the Pokemon is some of my favorite one. Which one would you like to get?
Arcanine. Just give me
Nice.
Just give me Arcanine. That's all I want forever. Just give me a giant flaming dog that I can ride. You don't beat that.
Yeah.
You don't beat that.
Yeah, definitely you need to play the good old Pokemon Let's Go Eevee or Pikachu, whatever. So in that game, it's the only game where you can actually ride an Arcanine. You can catch and ride it around the Kanto Island.
I'll have to play that game for sure then. Other weird video game news quickly is Sony filed a lawsuit against Tencent for allegedly ripping off Horizon Zero Dawn with a game called Light of Motriam. We're just going to go ahead and remove that word allegedly because it's pretty fucking clear what Tencent was doing over here. There are also reports that Tencent, prior to this, reached out to Sony to try and buy the license of Horizon Zero Dawn for insultingly little price. And Sony was like, go fuck yourselves, we're not doing that. And then right after that, Tencent released all of this and released their game. And Sony was like, yo, what the fuck? So yeah, lawsuits are incoming, and rightfully so.
Yeah, they basically copied everything. But just even the main character, make it maybe a man. Just like, oh, it's a man, it's not a woman, it's a bit different. No, they copied everything, even colors of the hair, or the mechanism of like giant robot animals. They didn't even try. Like, if you think at least Power World with a Pokemon, yes, they copied their Pokemon. They was exactly the same. They were a little bit different. They changed a few things. They changed some of the mechanisms. You could use like your monsters as a weapons, and it's not something happening in Pokemon. So at least you can say, oh, well, it's similar but different. While this one is basically the same.
Yeah, no, like you
it's
said,
basically exactly the same.
They didn't even try. It's insulting. They could have at least made the main character, I don't know, Chinese, because considering it's a Chinese game. No, really, like red hair, white chick, animal companions, the same kind of overgrown world. It's dystopian. She has a bow. She really, like, give her black hair at least. Yeah, dude, fuck, man.
Even the mountains at the back are exactly the same.
Yes, it's bad. Like, you couldn't make it. You couldn't even make it take place in China. You couldn't make the mountains like Chinese mountains, or make the like, bro. That's just bad. Tencent.
Do you think they just took Horizon and give it to the AI and say, "Oh, make something similar"?
There's a couple of really good like shitpost replies under here that have hilarious memes that are just like, yeah, that's 100% what they were doing. They were just like copy and paste to the AI, and the AI did it, and they were like, yay, made a bunch of money, awesome. Yeah, it's really disappointing.
Yeah, there we go. Just do like this. Done. Oh well.
We have Hideo Kojima because we have Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, a remastered edition, is coming out. And Kojima.
Yeah, that's coming at the end of August. Yeah. Kojima said.
No, you're good.
Go on.
No, you too.
Yeah, Kojima was the ideator of the first kind of Metal Gear Solid, and after obviously he left Konami to go on his own path. And he said he saw the games. I don't think he want to play the games, and he want the whole gaming world start becoming a little bit better. Like, he doesn't want games to just remake games, and he want a little bit of new things. Like, he made Death Stranding, and it's a completely new kind of games. Yeah. We never saw something before, and was completely new. Of course, some people love it, some people hate it. It's like the gameplay is not what an action game will give you is a much slower pace by pace by pace by pace. But the storyline was like unique. We saw Expedition 33, then remade Final Fantasy in something better, such a better than Square Enix went to the Expedition 33 developers house to ask, please teach us how to make a better Final Fantasy. And that's what a lot of gamers also want something new. They don't want just the same kind of broth re-given, like reheated and given back. And Snake Eater would be just a remake of the good old Metal Gear Solid 3. We're gonna see again Solid Snake, old Solid Snake, try to defeat all his enemies and destroy the Metal Gear at the end. Are you gonna play it or are you gonna try it?
No, I'll pass on it. Well, you know, I'll play the next thing that could like I maybe I'll try out Death Stranding or just watch the gameplay or something. I do like, yeah, he has a lot of quotes that are saying about stuff with this. Like, even the visuals and the systems are all pretty much the same. A lot of people enjoy this, I understand, but it's important to put something really new in there for the industry. Yeah, I like that he's trying. I like that he's doing shit. I also always like this quote that I want to put. Sorry, what's up?
Yeah, I was saying like a lot of game developers are trying to play on the gamers' nostalgia at the moment. Like they just remake games for the nostalgia of old gamers. They say, "Oh, that game was awesome," and new generation obviously they didn't play that games at the time, and they say, "Oh, that sucks. With like the graphic is shit now, and I wanna like relaunch it again so the new generation can play that game again." I can understand that, but we need also new stuff, especially for us older men's.
I mean, look, that's why they're going for nostalgia, is because we run the world now. Like, we own the shit, we buy the money, we have the payment. But yeah, that's why, like, I'll give props to the Resident Evil remakes and the Dead Space remake. Are they remakes of the same story? Yes. Did they still add new mechanics? Yes. They added new features, new mechanics, new game modes, new visuals, new something. They added something to it. It wasn't just hey, we made the graphics better. No, in Dead Space, there were different enemies. There were different modes. There were different, like, whoa, I don't remember this puzzle. There were new, harder things. Same with Resident Evil remakes.
Yeah.
Like, that's why like Resident Evil 2 won Game of the Year a little while ago. And that's why they're so well regarded, is because they're better than just a remake. So, like, yeah, I agree with that.
They kind of relaunch it, but with new things inside, so it make everyone a little bit more entertained to the game.
Yes.
And talking about another games launching, like this week. Today is the 4th. Yeah, this week in 4 days, Mafia: The Old Country is launching as well.
Oh, that's right.
That was one of the games I wanted to play on the day, but now I started Expedition 33, so I might finish Expedition 33 before getting that.
Finish Expedition
I might
first.
push. Yeah, I will push Mafia maybe for a bit later. That's probably what will make me jump Metal Gear Solid. If I were gonna play Mafia, probably that will take me entertained until Silent Hill F coming in September, playing that one. And after in October is coming the new Digimon games. So we got a lot coming.
Yeah, you're already set, dude.
A lot coming.
So what are you looking forward to for the upcoming week, sir?
For the upcoming weeks, definitely finish Expedition 33. I'm going to play every single corner of that game. And if I didn't like Mimes before, I'm going to don't like Mimes even more now I'm playing Expedition 33. That's a secret. Yeah, if you play, you're gonna find out about it. I'm gonna leave you with this incognito for you about Mimes.
I believe you. I mean, I already know what's going on with a lot of the stuff. Okay, right on. Jump into more Expedition 33. You've got Mafia waiting in the wings when you're ready.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
More Pokemon Go, probably. More playing. More event coming. I think August is gonna be very full of event in Pokemon Go. We're gonna have like the World Tournament as well in the PvP. So we see how that one go. And it's gonna be a global event with a release of a special tamed Pikachu. That definitely gonna try to find a shiny version.
Solid.
Yeah. Solid. And the Web3 side, what we got coming? Also, a big partnership between Gigaverse and Lowland on Abstract. Maybe gonna try to check it out what they're doing. And game-wise, I'm not sure if any games are releasing
Nothing good.
at the moment, but yeah, probably most people waiting until end of the month when Gamescom gonna happen.
Yes. Yeah, we'll see what comes from Gamescom and all the demos they have there just waiting for us.
Yeah,
All right.
that would be an interesting event to see
All right.
what they're gonna release there.
Well, I mean, we made it. We made it. Everybody, we made it. Thanks for hanging out with us as we talk some shit, specifically about shrapnel and the Chinese government and Tencent. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening to us. Go through all the news and tell you what's going on. Appreciate you staying around and listening to us be weird. Big week. Every week's a big week at this point with markets popping off, with things to do, with games happening. Hopefully, if you're above the age of 18, you can still see us next week. If not, we might go under some changes as YouTube goes under some changes. We might have to figure out the best way to do this. But yeah, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate everybody for hanging out. That's all I got, Timo.
Yeah. So see you everyone next week. And remember, play games. Let us know what you're playing. Subscribe our channels. Try to follow us on everywhere. X, TikTok, YouTube, and whatever you like us to see. Join the Northbound community on Discord, where we're talking about gaming the whole time. And yeah. See you, everyone.
Adios,
Cheers.
guys. See you next week. Deuce.